Chapter 16. So Dan, in just over 24 hours time you'll be stepping out of the International Space Station to spacewalk to the Lux Eterna launch platform. There you will see the light-sworn probes sending those tiny spaceships on a 100 trillion kilometre trip to the stars in search of alien life. How are you feeling? The camera cuts from the glossy hair presented on the breakfast TV sofa to my dad on board the International Space Station. He's floating in exactly the same place as where I spoke to him yesterday, holding one finger to his ear as he waits to hear the question. "Daddy!" Charlie throws her arms up in excitement at the sight of Dad on the TV screen. Her left hand catches the edge of her bowl of porridge, flipping it up into the air before gravity drops its contents all over Grandad. "Oh, Charlie," Mum says, grabbing a cloth from the kitchen sink as the porridge bowl clatters to a halt at her feet. Grandad looks down at his Death Panda t-shirt. Charlie's porridge splats give it the cartoon panda on the front a messy makeover. Shocked by the launch of her UFP, unexpected flying porridge, Charlie bursts into tears and I have to strain my ears to catch Dad's reply. "I feel very proud," he says, a slight buzzing echo on his words as they bounce around the world. "Everyone has worked so hard to make this mission a success. From the scientists and engineers back at home who developed and built the light swarm technology, to all the astronauts who constructed the orbital launch platform. I'm just a small cog in a much larger machine, but I feel hugely honoured that when I press the button on that launch platform tomorrow, I will be helping the human race to take our first steps to the stars." "And how do you think your family will be feeling now?" the presenter asks as the time delay kicks in again. I should be feeling proud too, but instead I just feel so resentful. It seems like Dad's more bothered about being a famous astronaut now than he is about being a dad. I look around the kitchen table. Mum's giving Charlie a hug. My little sister's still sobbing as Grandad tries to deporridge his t-shirt with the wet cloth. Maybe family life just isn't exciting enough for him. "I think they might be a little nervous," Dad finally replies, "but hopefully they're all feeling proud of me." "We all are, Dan," the TV presenter says with a smile. "There's only 10 seconds left on the satellite, so we've got to let you go now. But everyone here wishes you the very best of luck with your mission tomorrow." With a final wave, the picture of my dad disappears from the screen, to be replaced by a weather map. And to find out what the weather will be, find out whether it will be bright and sunny for Dan's spacewalk, let's hear the forecast from Claire. Reaching for the remote, Mum switches off the TV, prompting a fresh howl from Charlie. "Come on, silly," Mum says, giving Charlie a cuddle as she lifts her out of her chair. "Your dad will be home soon." She looks across at me as I push my own chair back from the table. "Do you want to lift to school, Jamie, after I've dropped Charlie off at nursery?" Feeling the faint buzz of my mobile phone in the depths of my pocket, I quickly shake my head. If Mum gets me in the car on my own, she'll just start talking about the divorce, and that's the last thing I want to think about now. No thanks, I'd rather walk today. I've not had the chance to look at my phone properly since it went all intergalactic on me last night. When I got back to my room after putting Charlie to bed, Buzz seemed to have shut down. Now, as I near the school gates with my mobile in my hand, my thumb hovers over the spiral icon, just waiting for it to start spinning again. To be honest, I didn't sleep much last night. In science fiction films, there's usually two types of aliens. There are the cute, cuddly ones like E.T. who just want to get back home or to their own planet. And then there's the bug-eyed aliens who blow up the White House and take over the world. Now, I'm really hoping that Buzz is the first type. But the thing is, there are tons more movies made about evil alien invaders. And technically, Buzz has hijacked my phone. Buzz. Flinching in surprise, I glance down at the screen. The golden spiral is spinning again, its unfurling loop growing wider with every turn. As Buzz's voice hums from the speaker, I feel an answering buzz in my brain. Synchronising. Buzz. "What do you mean?" I ask, feeling slightly panicked as the tip of my finger flickers brightly beneath the sunlight. "What's happening to me?" "We are connected," Buzz's voice echoes inside my head. "It's time for you to learn about the hive." For a second I stare at my phone dumbfounded. The golden spiral is still spinning, but my eyes can't seem to focus on this. It feels as though I'm looking at the screen through a piece of wire gauze, just like the ones we use in science, but this one's tinted gold. I blink, trying to clear my vision, but when I open them again, my heart skips a beat. On the screen I can see a huge golden spiral reaching up into a purple sky, but then the picture shifts and suddenly I'm plunging into its heart. I can almost feel the pressure of the onrushing air, the picture spiralling dizzily as it swoops through the thick golden haze. My ears pop, the sound of the humming inside my head suddenly louder. Beneath my finger, the foam feels sticky to the touch as I watch the screen seem to expand, and my vision fills with the most unbelievable sight. I'm hanging suspended in a cathedral of lights. This vast space filled with endless rows of hexagonal cells, spiralling in every direction. Each cell gleams with an unearthly glow, their golden lights flickering to the hum of a billion buzzing voices, lifted up in what sounds like a prayer. Inside my head, I feel Buzz's presence flickering inside my mind. We are old, so much older than you, and we know so much. I'm not just seeing this anymore. It's like I'm inside a liquid gold hive, or maybe it's inside of me. For a second, I almost forget to breathe and feel like I'm drowning in an ocean of light, every particle humming with information. I catch glimpses of the impossible reflected in the light, ideas so far beyond my understanding, I can't even begin to put them into words. That's when I realise, this is the hive. Everything they've ever said, everything they've ever done, everything they've ever known, their art, their science, their stories, their songs, all trapped inside this shimmering light. We are many and we are one, the living and the dead and yet to come. We are the hive. The humming sound surrounds me now, so beautiful and strange. It's like the air itself is an invisible library. The book fills with sunlight. That's when I see them, a swarm of strange alien creatures dancing towards the light, just like before. I can't quite make out their features, only their silvery wings beating against the shimmering air. I watch as they whirl in spiraling circles, their every movement pulsing through the vast structure until it vibrates with an unstoppable energy. This is what we were. Buzz's voice hums inside my head. Frail creatures of muscle and brain, so vulnerable to harm. We had learned so much, harnessing the energy of the stars, but then the darkness came. I don't know which way is up or down anymore. My head is spinning as Buzz's voice fills my brain. But at the summit of the spiralling hive of light, there's an open circle of sky. Through this I see a giant sun, its golden sphere slowly being shredded into blazing jets of gas. It's as if it's been devoured by some invisible predator, flailing in its death throes as the sky turns black. The hive had to choose, our bodies or our minds. There was no choice. At the centre of the vast structure, I see a golden beam stretching up to the stars. The alien creatures spiral in perfect circles as they ascend into the heart of the shimmering beacon, their bodies surrendering to its brilliance until they can no longer be seen. We went into the light, Buzz sings. My mind reels as this golden light surrounds me too. And then we swarmed. Suddenly I feel myself catapulted across space. It's like the intergalactic tour that Buzz gave me last night is now running backwards, flares of light endlessly erupting and being extinguished in the blink of an eye. I see planets, asteroids, comets and satellites whizzing past before I catch a glimpse of the Hubble Space Telescope, its solar panels angled towards the sun as the giant eye of its lens fills the screen. I wince, waiting for an impact that never comes, as the golden light spins through a whirling hall of mirrors before finally tumbling into darkness. Blinking in surprise, I open my eyes to find that I'm standing outside the school gates. The phone is still in my hand, the golden spiral slowly turning as Buzz speaks again. We are the hive. We survived. It wasn't real. I murmur, unable to shift the image of the aliens dancing to their deaths as the light swallowed them whole. The same light racing across the universe until it hit the Hubble Space Telescope. We are as real as you are, Buzz replies, the words softly buzzing from my phone. We have just moved beyond the limits of the physical world. Inside every atom in the universe is a fireball of light, a constant flow of photons that keeps every particle intact. This is where we live now, where all our minds still thrive. We are creatures of the light. We are the hive. My head is spinning with everything that I've seen and heard. But it all makes a crazy kind of sense now. Professor Forster was wrong. When that light hit the Hubble Space Telescope, it wasn't a signal or some kind of message from the stars. It was the hive. Their entire civilization beamed across trillions of kilometres of space until it finally struck Hubble's mirror. And as the sensors at the heart of the telescope transmitted this signal to the laser optical ground station that was hooked up to Professor Forster's laptop, that was the moment I plugged my phone in. This alien intelligence was downloaded to my mobile, an extraterrestrial civilization stored on my SD card. All their knowledge, all their wisdom, all their cleverness is now sitting next to my contacts on the home screen. What do you want? I murmur. Help. Bzz. Who are you talking to? At the sound of Minty's voice, I turn around in surprise and then nearly jump out of my skin as I see a green bug-eyed alien staring back at me.